Next, we're going to meet a cockatoo named Arrow, and Arrow is coming to us live. Hi, Sophia. Can you
Hi.
introduce us?
Yeah, this is Arrow. She's a 19-year-old lesser sulphur-crested cockatoo.
Hi, Arrow. Should we, and you said she.
Yes, she's
I
definitely
know,
a female. Yeah.
yeah, I know that there's some way, like by observation, you can tell cockatoos sexes,
Yeah, there's
right?
actually with cockatoos, it's the color of their iris.
Yeah.
Yeah, so her pupil is black, but she has brown iris around the pupil, but she has also had a test.
Oh,
So she's
okay.
also had a blood test. So she's definitely a female.
Um, Before we get started, let's talk to people about the dramatic black lighting.
Yeah, so
Arrow's cage is in a very bright location, actually.
so there's a window behind us and a window next to her cage, but I have them darkened so that we don't get the backlight on the video. So she's not
Yeah,
living in a dark, not living in a dark room and shouldn't be. It's just
yeah,
for this video. Yeah.
yeah. White bird, bright light, hard to see.
Yeah, the backlighting makes the video you can't see it all, but that's not real life just in the Zoom video.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do it for 20 minutes, but not a way to live. So as a reminder to our audience, please do keep the questions coming. They're great. It's been so nice to have all these questions today on Q&A and chat and the live stream on Facebook. The Q&A in Zoom, sorry. So my first question, usually one of my first questions, is Arrow comfortable with people? And obviously on some level, yes, I see her sitting there comfortably by you, screening.
Yeah, she's very specific about who she likes. And from what we know in the background, from her past, she likes female humans. So definitely we're looking for an adopter who the female would be the primary, female human would be the primary caretaker. And just in case you're a male looking for a lesser sulphur-crested cockatoo, we have two other lesser sulphur-cresteds available now that are very male specific human birds, and that is Petey and Sappy. So if you no one has to miss out.
I have met Petey, and when I go in the door of his foster home, he looks straight past me to my husband. So yes, 100% can confirm.
Exactly.
Have our first audience question here. Is Arrow still plucking?
I'm sorry, one more time with the question.
Is Arrow still plucking? So I think somebody's observing the feathers.
Yeah, so it's hard to tell. So she's been with me since 2 weeks before Christmas, and I haven't seen her plucking, but you know, she's done some grooming, so it's hard to tell at this point if she's plucking or not. She seems really happy, but I forgot to tell you her background story, which is she has only been in one home before she came here, and she was with a husband and wife, and the wife actually passed away 7 years ago, and the husband continued to take care of her, but he couldn't take her out of the cage without her biting him. So she was pretty much cage bound. I mean, he had a female friend that would come visit that Arrow really liked. So when she visited, Arrow would come out, but otherwise she was pretty much in the cage just because she didn't like him.
Oh,
and
he's been lonely for a long time.
Yeah, he tried. Well, he had other birds, and so he tried really hard to take care of all the birds. But at this point, he's older and has his own health problems, and so he really couldn't take care of them anymore.
Understandable. One of the audience members asked, so I'll confirm again here. Arrow is 19, is that correct? 19 years old?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. She's 19 years old. Yep. And she's been, I have her health records. She has been seen at Medical Center for Birds.
Okay.
And they had done her blood test when she was really young, like 7 months old. So they probably weren't sure based on the eye color at that time.
I see. Yeah. Yeah. So what does Arrow what's a routine day for Arrow like? What are her typical behaviors?
So Arrow, she really likes to ring her bell. So that's her favorite toy. And so a typical day. So she gets a little bit of bread as a treat in the morning, and she's like Safeway Select nut and grain bread torn into little pieces. So she gets a few of those as a treat. And then she's a very smart bird. So I do foraging to give her pellets. So I actually have another wheel I was going to show. So this is how she gets her pellets. This is a new one, but her pellets are in a wheel like this. And so she has to forage to get them throughout the day. Then in the afternoon, she gets fruit and vegetables. So in a separate dish. And she loves mini peppers, fresh mini peppers. And she'll also eat hot peppers. So she gets the whole mini pepper, and she likes to pick out, eat some of the seeds in there and whatnot. Baby carrots and sugar snap peas. Those are her favorites. But I have gotten her to also eat cauliflower, broccoli, cucumber, some orange and apple. So I'm trying different things. And she picked up some spinach. So I'm trying to add some additional veggies and fruit to her otherwise diet. And her pellets are Harrison's horse pepper. So she's been on a very good diet.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised by how many people don't know and are surprised to realize that, in my experience, a lot of parrots like the seeds of bell peppers. Like every pepper that we eat in this house, the seeds go to the birds. Like somebody always wants to eat them.
Yeah.
They're a good food. I think it might be nice. Do you ever put any kind of foraging things in that blue ball I see behind you? Have you ever done that?
That one's kind of new. I'm just trying to get her used to that. And I have
Baby
really
steps.
bought a bunch of foraging toys. So we have, she likes the tumbler. There's a K-Tech tumbler that she likes. It's spelled CAITEC. They make a lot of foraging stuff. And we're also working on the windmill, but she hasn't taken to that as much. But a wheel she's on immediately. Any kind of wheel. She's used to that because they used that before in her other home. Yeah.
So she has an idea of how to approach a puzzle like that. So
yeah. She's very smart. And so she really needs her brain stimulated. So she's not spending all her time on mating type behavior.
Yeah. Which should, depending on the cause, I should preface it that way. Depending on the cause of her plucking, that may help sort of keep it abated. It's always a tough thing to manage.
I mean, she wasn't getting out of the cage for 7 years hardly at all. And I'm sure that's part of why she started plucking. And when they start, sometimes they don't stop. We just don't know. But she doesn't mutilate herself. So it's not a health problem. She's healthy.
That's fortunate. It's very fortunate. What size is Arrow's cage?
Arrow's cage is 32 inches wide by 23 inches deep. And I think it's the inside where she is 40 inches high.
That's always a tricky thing because there's the height from the ground, but then there's the part that's actually like, if you were inside of it, how big is that cage?
Yeah, I'm just giving the inside. Yeah. Just the inside of her cage. And it's 3/4 inch bar spacing.
Yeah.
She's a very small bird.
We always have to look at the bar spacing very carefully so their heads don't get stuck or other body parts. It's a real safety concern. Yeah. Does Arrow need any kind of special care?
Nope, she's a healthy bird. She just needs a lot of foraging opportunities so she can, no mating type behavior, because that's really hard on her body to have eggs. Yeah. And she did have an egg on the bottom of the cage when we picked her up. And she also is asking me to pet her under the wing, which she's holding up her wing. And you should never pet a cockatoo under their wing because
Yeah,
that's
let's talk about that for a minute.
Okay.
People really don't know, I think. And they just, like, cockatoos have a reputation of they look so snuggly. So go.
You only want to pet a cockatoo above the neck and on their feet, because otherwise, you don't want to stroke them down the back or under their wings, because that is a sexually stimulating behavior for them. And that can cause a lot of problems. They can have prolapses. Eggs are hard on their body to have. It takes a lot out of their body. They can have stuck eggs and soft shell eggs and all kinds of awful stuff. So you just don't want to do that at all.
It's so counterintuitive when you think about how you would interact with a cat or a puppy, or you like give them a belly rub, or like pet them on the back, like all these things, and it's not instinctual as a human not to touch those parts of the body. Yeah, really important. Couple more audience questions about Arrow. Does she like to play in water, get sprayed, or any other type of water play?
So in order to bathe her, I'm using a really fine mist spray. And I guess the wife, her owner, when she was alive, did use a spray bottle to give her baths, but she hasn't had a bath in not 7 years, I don't think. So at least, she may have bathed in her water dish, but she hadn't had spray. So I'm just doing a little bit at a time. And she's kind of getting used to it now, but I'm not overdoing. I'm just doing a little. And then she watches my other birds enjoy it. So I think that helps too. But she's not totally into it at this point yet.
Sure.
But that probably will help her feather condition as well.
I would think so, yeah. And last audience question. What time does Arrow go to sleep and get up in the morning?
Arrow, usually when you try to give a cockatoo, you want to give a cockatoo ideally 12 hours of sleep a night where it's dark. So I just kind of do it according to my schedule. So I probably stay up too late. So she gets up later than she should and then stays up later than she should.
12 hours is 12 hours. We are just about out of time, but before we wrap up, are there any last things you'd like potential adopters to know about Arrow?
So she's not doing it right now, but she does ride on my shoulder, and she'll groom my hair, and she's very friendly. She always wants to sit on my lap. So she was doing that earlier, but she's like a toddler. She got bored with the video waiting.
Yeah. You can't predict what they're going to do at any given moment.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sophia, for introducing us to Arrow.